Hey everyone, I'm Bob Lutz. This is Paul Suellentrop, Wichita Eagles. Shockers with a 20-point win this afternoon at Koch over Tulsa. The game started pretty well for Tulsa. They had a spurt in the second half. Other than that, complete domination by the Shockers.
Yeah, I guess you have to consider this WSU's toughest test. I think Tulsa led later in the game than anybody else had against the Shockers, but it was really not much in doubt after halftime.
Hurricane did whittle a 23-point lead to 10. Did that not get you to thinking a little bit?
I was thinking about that during the game, that there would have been points within the last 2 or 3 years where you would have started to say, uh-oh, where are we going here? And I never really had that kind of feeling. I was pretty confident Wichita State would do what it needed to do to end that run, and they did.
You look at this box score, and Ron Baker, tremendous today, 6 of 11 from the three-point line. Fred Van Vliet with his first really good offensive game. Also 9 assists, but outside of those two guys, nobody really had a great game yet. Here's a team that just consistently wins by double digits. I think now averaging 20 points a win.
Oh, easily, yeah.
You take the Newman game away, and it's still they're blowing people out.
Yeah, 3 teams that were all in the NCAA tournament last year, and Wichita State has pretty much disposed of them by 20 or more points. I think Darius Carter maybe is the guy who flies underneath the radar. He was 6 of 9. I think in only 18 minutes. But you're right, those guards, they just do so much to get everybody in the right position. They make it so much easier on everybody else.
I need to apologize to Darius Carter because you're exactly right. Here's a guy that I think he does fly under the radar. He has good games almost every game. He's a guy that I think is going to be a really solid player for this team, but he it's hard to notice him because of what Baker and Fred and Takale and those guys are doing consistently.
Yeah, and he's had some foul trouble this year. He did get to the line today too, which I also think is important. I think he had 6 free throws coming in. He had 4 today, and I think you'd like your big guys to maybe get to the line a little bit more than what he's been doing.
How much are people still talking about Connor Frankamp? He was at the game today with his family. That's the second time he's made visits to Colorado, a visit to Creighton. We expect a decision from Connor imminently, could be yet this weekend. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I think people are very interested. Obviously, he's one of the City League greats, and we know how much Wichita people like to see those hometown people stay in town. He apparently has a tough decision. Those are three really good programs that he's considering, and I guess he'll have to figure out what the right fit is.
He's been to practices. His coach has been to practices. His parents have had meetings. They've toured this facility. They've been all over this place. I would be shocked. I'll just go out and say I'll be shocked if he doesn't come to Wichita State. But you can take that for what it's worth, because as of right now, no decision from Connor Frankamp.
How do you think he fits in at Wichita State?
I think I think he would fit in well. I think he would be a guy that you consider the potential of losing a Ron Baker after this season to go to the NBA or go play professionally in Europe. Is Fred Van Vliet going to come back, or is he going to maybe look at the pro route? You're going to lose to Cale Cotton. You've got a lot of youth in your backcourt if all of that happens. And to me, Connor Frankamp is such a dynamic offensive player, despite what happened during his freshman season at Kansas, that I think he helps any program he goes to.
Yeah, and if you team him with Ron and Fred in the backcourt, boy, that's 3 really high-level scorers you've got.
Well, if they come back next year and then you add Connor in the second semester, and you've got those 3 guys standing out on the perimeter, I mean, who are you going to guard? How are you going to stop them? So we'll see. Connor Frankamp could be at Wichita State as soon as, I think, tomorrow, or maybe he'll pick Creighton, maybe he'll pick Colorado. But whatever he does, the Shockers win today over Tulsa 75-55. Next up, a dangerous game at Utah on Wednesday night. Should Shocker fans be worried about that one?
I don't know if you should be worried, but I think that's the toughest test to date. I think going on the road, we'll see how a lot of these newcomers, take their games on the road. So yeah, I think it'll be a tough one. It's also a window into what life might be like if Wichita State joins the Mountain West Conference with a 10 p.m. start on Wednesday. Now I'm just teasing.
Now you're just teasing me. That's what I want. I could do this video all night, but Jamie Green, our videographer's waving her hands frantically for us to stop. Shockers win by 20. Watch for Paul's coverage as he heads out to Salt Lake City this week. We'll see you for the next home game next Saturday against St. Louis at Intrust Bank Arena.